Just waiting for my steak to rest. Super fast video probably, as it's a repeat of a wine I've already had. Couldn't really decide on what I wanted tonight. So, then we just went with a big one. And a well-priced one. The Recoltant, this is the regular Napa 2018 that I really was really excited about when I tried it a little bit ago. So we'll just see. I just popped it just now. Super dark. Last time I had it, it was just the delicious factor, off the scale type of wine. Let's just see if it stays in that same realm. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about Cabernet in general, as we have a few minutes for that steak to rest. I hope it's a nice medium rare. Yeah, I mean, just gobs of fruit jumping out, and just big, explosive. You could just smell it. It just smells like Napa. Italy smells, sometimes Italian wine smells like Italy. This just smells like Napa to me. Or big California, Napa Sonoma. Just smells like it's going to be delicious and big. And it smells smells hot, high alcohol, probably a little bit higher just for the ripeness. 14.5, could be even higher, who knows. So let's just talk a little bit about Cabernet. So it's started out in, well, we think Bordeaux, I'm pretty sure, in France, left bank, and some of the top wines in the world. The 5 first growths, which are on the left bank. Yes, there is a growth system to the right, but it came much later. First growths being the most expensive wine at the time. Actually, there was only 4, and then Mouton Rothschild jumped in 1970 something. I don't remember the exact year. I'll say 73. But the other ones, mostly cab heavy, but there's definitely Merlot. I think the Margot's got more Merlot in it. I don't even know the compositions exactly, but different than these cabs. They feel like they have a little bit more saddle leather grip with the tannin, and definitely less like explosive fruit. There is certainly fruit, especially in these riper Bordeaux vintages now, but the Cabernet there definitely tastes different than the Cabernet over here. I'd say some Cabernets made anywhere outside of, well, not just those 2 regions. Let's say outside of some main regions. I like South African Cabernet. I think South African Cabernet could be very, very good. Chilean Cabernet can be good. I think you got to spend some money for it. I think the cheap ones taste cheap, and that's unfortunate. Argentinian cabs, I'm not a big fan of. They kind of taste a little, the pyrazines, which green peppers and bell peppers, and sort of a burnt thing going. The Cabernet out of Coonawarra in Australia, I really, really like. One of my favorites, sub $30 or $30. So there are Cabernet Sauvignons around the world that I do like. I think anything made outside of those areas kind of struggle, depending. I know there's some in Spain, and they're okay to me. I know Spain's not where I'm looking for Cabernet. Cabernet, I'm going France, Bordeaux, I'm going California. I've tried some from around the country. New Jersey Cabernet Sauvignons, just very, very, very thin. I feel like Cabernet Franc is more New Jersey's grape. It just does much better with it, since it lends itself to be a little bit lighter, but does still have the elegance to it. And I do believe it ripens pretty well in New Jersey. The Cab Sauvignon is just doesn't ripen enough to be like this, and it just falls so short in flavor. And I've tried a number of them, just out. The BDX at a Heritage is a Bordeaux blend, and it's got, I think, all 5, or at least it used to, at the New Jersey winery. I don't know if it's how much Cabernet is in it though. Cabernet Sauvignon, I mean. So that would be interesting, because that wine did have a bigger grip and bigger taste to it. Trying to see where else. Cabernet. We're talking about Cabernet Sauvignon, not Cabernet Franc. Cabernet Sauvignon actually being the cross between Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc. So a red and a white grape to create Cabernet Sauvignon. That's basically the most popular red grape, if not grape, around the world now. Can't think of any other region offhand. So I like and the other ones in Australia too have a little bit of a overcooked. Australia is definitely trying to restrain things. It seems like a lot of folks are trying to restrain where the climate is shifting, especially in Australia. It's getting very hot. Some of the wines get too jammy, and they call it flabby, where the acidity is very low, but the wine's got a lot of texture and body, but it's like the acid's super low, and the wine's tannic, but just has this flabbiness to it, sort of imbalanced. So, delicious. I mean, it's just delicious. And it's mouth-watering. This is a delicious wine for $30, under $30. I wish I could try more people on this and say, look what you get for sub 30. This is what you could get for sub $30. And it's delicious. I mean, I feel like this to me tastes like 50. Doesn't have some of the elegance of some of the $50, $60 Napa cabs, but this is got that delicious factor. Like 10 out of 10 delicious factor. So good. And a lot of times wine just needs to taste good. Doesn't sometimes need to be so thought-provoking or so elegant or so perfect in every aspect. It just needs to fit the bill, fit the company, fit the cuisine. And sometimes you just want it to just be damn good. So this one's great. 4.5 out of 5, especially for the price. Can't say much more about it. Remember, I tried the Combsville. That had a little bit more elegance than this for sure, but a little bit more money, but not a whole heck of a lot. I will definitely be buying this every time J.J. Buckley offers it. It feels hotter than 14.5% also. Big, very big and juicy. That's what this wine is. And super long length. I'm still tasting it. So, the blackberries, black raspberry, dark cherry. Just a slight menthol thing, but very slight. Tannins are silky. It's still very young. It's good age for a long time, but it's delicious, tasting great right now, tonight, as a 2018. So that's it. It's enough time for that steak to rest. Dinner time.